Alright then folks and ladies and gentlemen, we'll present to you the final video of the Mario Party DS Let's Play, and that was the form of the gallery mode / the extra stuff how this game offers. But even then though, first things first though, is the fact that I'd like to point out there's going to be some couple of missing features that I want to briefly showcase of how this game offers. But even then though, so there are two questionable missing stuff that I actually missed out on this Let's Play in general. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there was actually story mode, but even then though, so that they are probably not going to tackle through story mode because it plays exactly like party mode, but except you only have 10 turns to play with, and also you're doing the deal with boss battles along the way. There's also multiplayer, which you can actually play with your friends via the DS download play. Unfortunately though, for the Wii U's Virtual Console eShop download, you can't actually play on multiplayer because due to the Wii U gamepad is only exclusive for just one player, and that's all they usually just can do. Also, same with likes of the other multiplayer games every now and then, like Mario Kart DS for example, that, you know. There's also a mic test which only does that, also for the other Nintendo DS titles, most likely The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks, for the likes of how you get the item from that particular temple, which is, I think it was actually a leaf blower, and also Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, and all that other DS titles you're probably familiar with this mic test. So, well, that's out of the way, and now let's move on to the actual thing itself, the gallery mode. Which, I've already explained about the actual view story, because you can actually just watch the story mode cutscenes again. But even then, if you want to check that out in the, during that, the link in the description below, if you want to actually watch the cutscenes and some, boss battles video, you can probably going to do that. Including the likes of the playlist is now added. So, now that's out of the way, let's move on to the collection. So, what collection does is that you can actually look on some of the cool figurines if you actually obtain those throughout your entire game profile. So, there's character figures, board features, boss trophies, and badges. So, first off, we have his character figures. So, yeah, at the moment for the time, I didn't actually unlock everything throughout because after all, since it's the Wii U's eShop download as opposed to the actual DS copy of the game, although granted, I wish I was going to go for the DS version of it, or in this case the DS game card version, but fortunately I don't have a DS capture card software, so even then I can't do that. So yeah, when you're about to be looking at the character viewpoint, especially for these other objects or even some of these things as well, is that you can actually just have a look at them while you just actually zoom in for a moment or zoom out for the entire figurine itself, which I found is kind of pleasing to actually notice by it. And also same with likes of you can actually look up on some character figurines that you collected from via the story mode, because in order to actually unlock these other characters' figures, you need to actually play through the story mode as they prospective characters, whatever it depends on what you could be playing as. So, like for instance, I've actually unlocked Mario and Toad figures, but even then though you have to complete those two through the story mode. However, there's unlike how it does it for the other figurines, most likely the badniks, or in this case the enemies from the Mario franchise, including the likes of the others as well, that in order to actually unlock them, you need to collect a certain amount of Mario Party points. Which kind of reminds me of something related to the party level system in Mario Party Star Rush, but even then the other toys will explain more to that as soon as when I get into Mario Party Star Rush. So anyway though, so there's also board features, which behaves exactly like how it does in the character figures, but except, with those little objects, these what comes from based off of the boards you actually play through. Like, for instance, the flower bed and the small plant, which is based off of, Wiggler's Garden. However, though, there's actually one, object that I sort of missed out of, though, and that was, although, if you see this little, red estimation on, no, not estimation, sorry, I can't speak today, if you see the red line outlined, the text has been saying for the red question marks. This means you need to actually see of what exactly the hint of how to unlock these specific figurines. Like for instance, go through 40,000 points in frenzy mode and triangle twisters. Even though despite the fact that I was actually trying to originally gonna get that, but unfortunately I did not get it at all due to the time limits. It's actually a little bit too quick for my liking. But for the most part, though, I've pretty much gone halfway done with board features, unlike in the character figures, including the badges as well. But even then, though, I'll explain more to those during later time. But anyway, so for the most part, I've pretty much gone through quite a few of these little items I've gone through. But however, I did not get them all, sadly, because even then, though, there are some objectives that are goddamn ridiculous in order to actually unlock this specific stuff. Like, for instance, get 500 points in Block Star. I can never seem to get that. And also same with likes of how it does it for... There's just one little bit of a luck-based element in the entirety of how to unlock everything. And that was the form of the... in order to actually just get that one prize in Bowser's pinball machine, you need to be sure you need to get in exactly... I'm presuming 890 coins if you get in a jackpot, which I think it only happens whenever you're trying to land on ×5 if you actually bet for more likely 50 coins and what have you, which I'm pretty sure... Oh, I don't know about that one. And yeah, that's quite easily to be the hardest objective I managed to come across. But anyway, and there's also some boss trophies, which I think I sort of mentioned this before, that in order to unlock these boss trophies, you need to actually replay through these boss medals throughout a few separate times. Like, for instance, in order to actually get all of these trophies for the Piranha Plant items, including the beaten version of the Piranha Plant, you need to beat him like 4 times. And for Hammer Bro, you need to actually beat him like 5 times. Same goes for Dry Bones, and including for the likes of Kamek. However, there's only one exception to this, however, and that will have to be Bowser, because you need to, in order to actually unlock the beaten Bowser trophy, you need to beat him like 6 times, which if you beat those bosses just once, you get as the first trophies to begin with. But as soon as you beat those each boss is like 5 times, then the more trophies you can obtain from. So, and finally we have badges, which you can actually just use them as your customizable editing parts for your farm selection, which I found is kind of unique and interesting, because usually speaking though, in order to actually set your badge, you just simply press Y, and then if you actually press that, you actually see this little cute little badge just about to be on display right next to the Mario Party points value of your little mind book. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. So at the time of second being for that, I haven't exactly gone through all of the badges though, basically. So even then though, unlocking those badges behaves exactly like how it does it for you know, the character figures themselves, because you're about to be getting a Mario badge, even a Toad badge for the story mode as well. And I'm pretty sure in order to get the badges, other badges though, is to collect a certain amount of Mario Party points. So yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory kind of thing about it. But even though I did manage to haven't unlocked everything yet, as I mentioned earlier, but there was actually a legendary badge you can actually unlock for if you actually collect quite a lot of Mario Party points. There was actually called DS Master, which this means in order to get that badge, you need to get up to a maximum of, presumably 50,000 points, which is quite a lot of points in order to get that. But even then though, it takes some time to actually just to unlock that particular badge. And then once you do that, then that's how you're supposed to get it. And as usual, just like in any other Mario Party games, that we're actually going to be seeing the new record data via the some of these minigames, including Score Scuffle, and as well as Boss Bash, and even puzzle minigames as far as the new record-based minigames. So, like for instance, like some of these minigames in Free For All, and some of them from 2 vs 2. And I think that's about it when it comes to this little minigames value. But even then, because of how there are some minigames that are usually focused on racing minigames, and there's sometimes distance or scoring based minigames. So yeah, it also shows you the Score Scuffle minigames, or in this case Score Scuffle mode, how much points you've got in the top 3 list. Even then though, of all the points I'm actually come across into, I think the 8,030 points will have to be the one from the entire Let's Play, which I found is kind of interesting. But even then though, that you can actually tell the difference between the how much points you've got between those top 3 lists. But even then though, that it plays exactly like how it does it from the Decabalon series modes via the previous Mario Party games. Well, test from the best in Mario Party 8 as far as the existence. But anyway, And also, you also looked up on the Boss Bash, which actually tells you the top 3 of the best times of the Boss Bash mode is gonna function at. And even then, though, that's I pretty much got 5 minutes, 10 seconds, and 60 milliseconds, which, much like Score Scuffle, I managed to actually got that time around the exact same time as when I managed to continue this Let's Play. So, even then, though, this is actually the final video of Mario Party DS, because at this point in time, again, during the 2017, we're about to be moved on into the next Mario Party game Let's Play, or even the last Mario Party Let's Play for the time being, although we don't know about Mario Party 11, we're about to be revealed during Nintendo Switch and during some time. But we'll explain more on that as soon as we actually get into that. So, and as usual, there you can actually see the how much minigames you actually obtain throughout 3 different types. There's all of the minigames, obviously, which means you see all of the minigames displayed on the minigames selection. And also the simple ones, which actually shows quite a few minigames are pretty simple, and as well as no mic minigames, which there are some minigames that it does not involve microphone at all. So yeah, that's one thing I need to clarify from there. Oh wow, it looks like the dual variation actually has 32 minigames. Same goes for the likes of the actual 4-player minigames list, which is kind of interesting to so much for that. But then again, it's mainly due to the fact that how some of these minigames, for that matter, in between dual mode and 4-player variation, they have the exact same method, but except there are some minigames that does not involving through one-on-one, but even then, though, that sometimes you actually come across into some 2 versus 2 minigames with some differences. And every once in a while, much like in any other Mario Party game, you'll be listening to the soundtrack, which in this case you'll be listening to every single music, and also how the you actually gonna come across into, you know, the music of how this game actually contains, including for the likes of how you can actually come across into the you know, the level music, as well as some sound effects, and even for the character voices from the previous Mario Party games to make some stuff as from Return. But even then, since there are only 8 playable characters in Mario Party DS rather than just 14, unlike in the Mario Party 8, but even then, though, that's how you usually just come about from it. So yeah, these are the voice clips of Mario Party DS, starting from Mario, and then we'll end off as Toad. So yeah, let's go ahead and just listen to them for Happy and Superstar voice.
I'm a superstar. Oh yeah, I'm a superstar. I'm the superstar.
I'm a superstar. That's right. I'm a superstar.
Oh yeah, I'm the superstar.
I'm the superstar.
And yeah, if you want to stop the background music, you can simply just press the Y button in order to actually stop. Although, strangely enough, though, if you actually exit it out, then you can actually just provide you for doing this. So anyway, so that's how the gallery mode actually looks like. It's pretty interesting to say much for that, though. However, there's actually one more thing before we actually end this Let's Play off, is the fact there's actually a credit sequence. Now, unlike in the other Mario Party games, most likely Mario Party 6, 7, and 8, you get the credit sequence via the menus and stuff, including the likes of Mario Party 1 and Mario Party 2. However, though, I'm presuming I may be wrong about Mario Party 3, but until Mario Party 9, Island Tour, 10, and Star Rush, you get these staff credits just from throughout the menu. However, Mario Party DS, I'm gonna have to cut the footage up until get to the point until just story mode. So anyway, son, that concludes the Mario Party DS Let's Play, even though I actually cut the, you know, the gallery parts of those I mentioned earlier. Because of that, though, I have to actually play through story mode. It doesn't matter what characters I'll be using. So, anyway, so that concludes our Let's Play of Mario Party DS. I know it has been quite a few, moments, technical issues with, trying to make this game done until for the Let's Play sake of being. But apart from those types of things, that we pretty much gone through everything. Well, except there are some couple of emphasis on quite a few missing modes, mainly in multiplayer mode, but even then you can't actually do it in the Wii U's Virtual Console version, but you can't do that on the original DS models. So anyway, yeah, overall Mario Party DS this was without a doubt the better of the Mario Party games on the handhelds, which I'm presuming that everyone else decided to actually agree on that, because usually speaking, because I think the critics out there seem to think that every now and then, and even for that in the Mario Party handheld franchise, that I'm presuming that the weakest of the bunch is still definitely Mario Party Advance because of the black sheep entry of the series. And also that I found out that the critics think that Mario Party Island Tour was pretty okay, but even then and then recently Mario Party Star Rush actually has some mixed receptions as well, same goes for Island Tour. But anyway though, so since now we actually managed to finish 12 of the Mario Party games, excluding 10 console entries and 2 handhelds. Now, you're probably wondering we're not going to be doing Mario Party Advance because that game sucks crap. And even then though, we only got the next Mario Party game to actually deal with until during next year, during next month actually, until before the Nintendo Switch presentation we're about to come, until during the 13th of January, in June in 2017, which there might be perfect timing in UK time anyway, because after all, that if some toys can actually do Mario Party Star Rush for Nintendo 3DS, then they might actually just do that, assuming if the Nintendo Switch presentation comes up. So yeah, so what are my final thoughts on Mario Party DS? As I mentioned earlier, this was without doubt the greatest Mario Party game to be released on the Nintendo DS, even for a handheld franchise, because for one thing is that the minigames themselves is actually a little bit more enjoyable than the likes of how it does it for Mario Party 8. Although, grantedly though, Mario Party 8 does have motion controls type of ways. Even though in Mario Party DS though, however, it does have a lot of capabilities of Nintendo DS's can offer, like stylus, microphone, and all that kinds of stuff, as well as the both screens. So yeah, that's pretty obvious. So I found the visuals do look really good for a Nintendo DS title, and also I really adore a soundtrack. I think this is one of my favorite soundtracks of any Mario Party game ever, excluding Mario Party 3 and Mario Party 2 and even that kinds of stuff. So anyway, there are some negative things I can think of about the game, is that sometimes the Chemix library can be a little bit too random, especially it's more likely a spiritual sequel to Neon Heights from Mario Party 7. And also some of these luck-based minigames, chips and dips, and especially, you know, the cheap chance are by far the luck-based minigames you probably should have. But apart from those types of things, this was actually a great Mario Party game to be on the handhelds to begin with. And yeah, that's all I can say about Mario Party DS, basically. There's not much else I can talk about. I had a lot of fun time with this game, though. Although there are some parts that I seem to actually got a little bit messed up at, such as got a massive epic fail for DK Stone Statue's victory. But I digress, though. I did have a pretty fun time on Mario Party DS. So this is me, Tiona, here from the Maxi Toys, and that was it for the Let's Play of Mario Party DS. And join the other toys next time of the Mario Party Let's Plays department, as I mentioned earlier, Mario Party Star Rush for Nintendo 3DS. So that'll come in during that time. So, see you guys then. Bye.